Good evening, everybody. Bershus, with the permission of friends old and new, tonight we begin the 10th Mishnah in the first parak. Let's get right into it. Shmaya v'al talya kiblu mehem. They acquired it from them from the previous generation, and this is the fourth pair of the Zugos. And what did Shmaya and Natalian say? Wait, hold on. Names of these master Tanoim are so pregnant with meaning, I have to at least say something about their names. Shmaya, what a name. Shema Hashem, Hashem listens, or he listens to Hashem. V'Avtalyon, Avtalyon or Avtle, he was the father of children. Ugh. What great names for leaders of Klal Yisrael. Let's get back into it. Shmaya ve'avtalyon gidlu mehem. Shmaya ve'avtalyon, they acquired it from them. Shmaya used to say, hamlaacha, love the work, usnois harabonos, and hate the rabbinate, ve'atisvad l'roshos, and don't become intimate with the ruling authorities. Ahav es hamlaacha. No one should be shamed of honest and good labor. Many of our chachamim were laborers. Hillel chopped wood. Rabbi Yossi bar Chalafta, he was a tanner, and Rabbi Chanina and Rabbi Yoshia were shoemakers. I find this comment constantly, and it is a stain, in my personal opinion, upon our reputation as Torah learners. It's beneath me, or it is beneath that individual to go have a job of manual labor. The Gemara in Pesachim tells us the following: Kahana Ami, I'm a great guy, I'm a Kohen Gadol. V'Gabra Rabban, and I'm a great man. No, don't say such things. You may all be familiar with a famous story. We just finished Pesach, and on Pesach we learned the story. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he turned 70 overnight by the hairs on his beard growing white, so that he would be able to sit with all of the old men on the Sanhedrin and be its leader in the Av Bestin. Well, the beginning of that story was a machlokus between Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Gamliel, and whether Ma'ariv was a reshus or a chova, whether it was permissive and volunteer basis to recite the evening prayers, or is an obligation. As a result of Rabbi Yeshua disagreeing on a certain level with Rabbi Gamliel and giving an public differing opinion, Rabbi Gamliel demoted him in public. Well, that demotion in public could not stand, and the Chachamim got rid of Rabbi Gamliel as the leader. Who was appointed in his stead? Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, our man of 17 years of age from the Haggadah that we learned about. How long did he last in that job? 1 day. But the end of the story is as follows. Rabbi Gamliel, noting and regretting his harsh actions towards Rabbi Yeshua and originally making a dunce out of him and sending him in the corner and demoting him from his place in the Beis Medrash, decides to go to Rabbi Yeshua's house and ask for forgiveness. And the Gemara says the following. Omar Rabbi Gamliel says, easily afsayel Rabbi Yeshua, let me go and let me make an appeasement to Rabbi Yeshua. He went to his house. Oh, he recognized when he got to his house, he saw that that the walls of this house were coated with black soot. Amar lo, Rabbi Gamliel said to him, from the walls of your house I could see that you work with coal. Amar lo, Rabbi Yeshua said to him, woe it is to this generation that you are its leader. That you have no clue b'tza'aron shel Talmidei Chachomim, in the tribulations of Talmidei Chachomim, b'ma heim misparsim, in what they have to do in order to make a living, u'b'ma heim nizunim, and with what they are able to place food on their table. He's in such a lofty position, Rabbi Gamliel, he didn't even understand what it meant to have an honest day's work. Amar lo, mochali. Rabbi Gamliel lowered himself and said, forgive me. And Rabbi Yeshua said, no. Rabbi Gamliel then said, Aseh b'shvil kibud ava, do it for my father. Forgive me for my father that you know. Fierce. He forgave him because of that. Never be embarrassed about a good day's hard labor. The Gemara in Brachas tells us another fascinating tale. It was a machlokes between the famed Shimon Bar Yochai, that of who was the author of the Zohar, who lived in a cave and learnt for many, many years, and Rabbi Yishmael. And the debate between the two was, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai believed that a person should be gisa b'yomim v'loila and never toil in anything but Torah alone. Rabbi Yishmael maintained, on the other hand, that mankind should be self-sufficient, and you should make and kaveh itim l'Torah instead. Many tried the method of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and failed, and many tried the method of Rabbi Yishmael and were successful. The Gemara in Kiddushin, Mishnah in Kiddushin, and this is a fascinating tale. One night I'm sitting in an apartment in Yerushalayim, and there's a knock on the door, and I say, Mize, who is it? David Soloveitchik. Arab David Soloveitchik, the head of the Brisker Yeshiva, the son of the Brisker Rav. So I said, Ein minut! As I was not dressed appropriately to greet such a gadol. I got dressed, I came to the door, there he was standing with his Rebbitzin, and he says, where is your grandfather? And I said, my grandfather can't stay in the apartment any longer because it no longer has air conditioning, and he's too old with the mezeg avir, so he's staying in the hotel. So he says, so please walk me to the hotel, and then you go in the hotel and you go get him and bring him to me. I said, okay. What else am I going to say? So I went and I got my Zaidi, and there for the next hour after my Zaidi and my Bubby came down to meet Rab David Soloveitchik with their Rebbitzin. My Bubby and the Rebbitzin went off walking, and my Zaidi, Rab David Soloveitchik, and me sitting on that park bench, we sat down and they were discussing the following Mishnah, La'olam yilmad odam es beno u'menus, that really a person should teach their child a trade, a physical trade. But how does that Mishnah end? Some people say that it's Rabbi Meir. What does he say? Rabbi Meir says, Ve'ani, and me, I'm only going to teach my son Torah. So their pshat in that Mishnah, and this is the pshat, really, is that when your mikzoah and your tradition is a rabbanish tradition, this is your vocation, your family vocation, then that's the Torah that you're going to teach them. Be that as it may. Coming back to the Mishnah, ahavis hamlocha, love the work, usno es harabonis, and despise and hate the rabbinate. Mefchaim the Lozhin, I mentioned it before. The famed Talmud of the Vilna Gaon, he noted that rabbinical service entails two distinct qualifications. Number one, the Rav must be a Talmid Chacham. Foremost, he must devote himself to learning, rendering halacha decisions, understanding the Masorah, and above all, teaching Torah. That is the foremost obligation and responsibility of the Rav. I will never forget my father, Rabbi Yaakov Simcha Cohen, telling me that one day, once a man came to him and says, Rabbi Cohen, I have a great proposal for you and your shul. What is that? I will learn in Koilel, Yom Malayla, night and day, and your shul, the entire shul, will have the zchus for paying my salary. so that I can learn. So your shul will have one kolomnik learning all the time. So my father said, that's a great proposal. There's just one problem. They already got such a guy. The guy's like, oh, I thought that was my new idea. He goes, what do you think I do? Number 2, according to Reb Chaim Volozhin, it's the second most important aspect. You see, here's the problem. The Rabbanus also comes along with numerous public occasions and communal concerns. And at such times, the Rav is afforded great honor and respect, great cover. Says Reb Chaim Volozhin, the dikta mehavis hamlacha, love the work, relates to the real labor of the Rav, learning and teaching Torah. Usnoas Rabbanus, and hate the Rabbinate, that relates to the pomp and circumstance. The only legitimate basis, Rabboisai, for honor and the calling of the Rabbinate, it's not the title, but the rabbi's efforts and achievements. The Gemara in Tainus tells us. Rabbi Yossi says, Lo mekoimo shel odom mechabdo. It is not the place nor the title that brings honor to the man. But rather the man who brings honor and respect to the place. The Abarbanal maintains, sages, be careful. Be very careful. Be very careful in your actions. In fact, my Zaidi was very makbid. Talmid Chochem shebevav abagodo chayev misa. Not that he's literally chayev misa that warrants the death penalty as a result of the fact that he had a tear in his clothing. Rather, he should present himself in an honorable manner at all times. Aboisai. Ahaves hamlacha. Love the work. Usnoas Rabbanus, and hate the rabbinate. No, don't hate the rabbinate. It's not for you to determine as the constituents and the members of the congregation to hate the rabbinate, but rather the rabbis themselves. They must hate the work that it involves, and therefore they should be humble and respectful and pious in all that they should do, and they should never gather to themselves the crown of Torah. Ahav es hamlacha, love the work of the Torah, usnoes harabonos, and dislike, disfavor, and despise the titles, vel tisvade l'roshos, and don't go begging and be a sycophant to the rich and the powerful. Good night.